Good day, pupils. You're welcome once again to another mathematics class. It is Mrs. Peaklane, and we are looking at the topic division of fractions today. Division of fractions. In our last class, we looked at multiplication of fraction, and we're going to use about the same method we used for last week's mathematics in today's math. Alright, so this first example I have evaluate 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 20. Don't be scared with this sign. All we want to do to achieve today is to change that sign to multiplication so that we can use the same method we used last week to solve this question. So I have 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 20. Now I said I want to change this sign. I want to change it to multiplication so that I can use last class method. So I'm going to leave my 3 over 4 alone. Take note, when you're changing this sign to multiplication, one of these two fractions will have to change. The numerator and the denominator will have to change position. You realize that I did not touch my first fraction. My first fraction is going to remain the same. This sign belongs to this second fraction. So the moment the sign changes to multiplication, we have to alter this second fraction. What do I mean by that? In this fraction, I have 1 as a numerator and 20 as a denominator. So the moment I change the sign, I'm going to change it upside down, and I have my denominator standing as a numerator now, and my numerator standing as a denominator. Let me start from the beginning again. I have 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 20. Now I said I have to change this sign to multiplication so that I can go on with solving this question. So this first fraction will remain the same. It will remain unchanged. Now the moment this sign changes to multiplication, the owner of the sign, which is the second fraction, will have to change. The denominator will go up as a numerator, and the numerator will come down as the denominator. I hope you got that. Now, after getting to this point, I want to believe that everybody can solve it from here. You remember in the last class, I told you that to solve a fraction like this, all you need to do is to get a straight line, bring all your numerators together, and bring all your denominators together. Can you see that? Now I have 3 multiplied by 20 as a numerator and 4 multiplied by 1 as a denominator. Instead of multiplying straight like I taught you in the last class, instead of multiplying straight, I will try and look at the numerators and the denominators and see if there's any number there that shares a common factor. What do I mean? Look at number 3 on the numerator line. Look at the 2 numbers on the denominator. Is there any number on the denominator line that shares a common factor with 3? The factors of 3, I have 1 and 3. Factors of 4, I have 1, 2, and 4. So 3 does not share a common factor with 4. Let's try 20. 20, the factors of 20 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. So which one do you think share a common factor? There's a factor of 4 in there, and there's another factor of 4 in 20. So I can actually use this 4 to reduce this 20. I hope you got that. So I'm going to say 20 divided by 4. That will give me 5. 4 divided by 4. That will give me 1. Now let's see what I'm left with. I have 3 multiplied by 5 all over 1 multiplied by 1. Can you see that it's simpler now? So all I have to do now is multiply. 3 multiplied by 5 will give me 15. 1 multiplied by 1 will give me 1. And I told you in the last class that when you have a fraction like this simply means 15 divided by 1. 15 divided by 1 will give me what? To give me 15. Alright. Therefore, my final answer equals 15. Good. Now let's look at the second example. In this second example today, we have 2 mixed fractions. And we're supposed to divide 3 whole number 1 over 4 by 2 whole number 1 over 3. Now, my goal here is to change these 2 fractions and make it look like this so that I can proceed by solving my question this way. What do I mean? I have 3 whole number 1 over 4 divided by 2 whole number 1 over 3. These are examples of mixed fraction, and you were taught that to change a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, you impute these 2 signs, times and plus. 4 times 3 will give me 12. 12 plus 1 will give me 13. Everything over 4. Maintain this denominator always. My sign still remains division. 3 multiplied by 2, that will give me 6. 6 plus 1, that will give me 7. 7, and you maintain your denominator, which is 3. Now, can I go ahead and divide now? No. I told you our aim in division of fraction is to change the sign to multiplication. So when I want to change the sign to multiplication, my first fraction does not change. It will remain 13 over 4. This sign changes to multiplication. The moment that happens, this fraction will have to change. 7, that is the numerator, will come as the denominator, and 3, denominator, will come up as the numerator. Can you see I've kind of somersaulted this fraction? So now I have 13 multiplied by 13 over 4 multiplied by 3 over 7. Now the next thing to do is to try and bring everything together. 13 multiplied by 3, 4 multiplied by 7. Good. Now let's look at this carefully. 13. Does 13 share any common factor with 4 or 7? No. What about 3? Does 3 share any common factor with 4 and 7? No. So in this case, when there's nothing, there's no common factor between any of your denominator and your numerator, you leave it like that and you multiply. So I have 13 multiplied by 3. In my counting jotter, I'll do 13 multiplied by 3. This will give me 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 1, 3. So up here, my numerator line, I have 39. All over 4 times 7, that will give me 28. Now, can this be my final answer? No. Why not? Because this is an improper fraction. So I want to change this to a mixed fraction. I hope you still remember how to change an improper fraction to a mixed fraction. If you have forgotten, let me remind you. All you need to do is to break this down. 39 over 28 simply means 39 divided by 28. Are we together? So you rule your long division sign. Put the 39 in the box and the 28 out here. Are we together? So 39 divided by 28, I'm going to get a 1. 38 multiplied by 1 will give me 28. Then I subtract. I divided 39 by 28 and I got 1. The next step is to multiply 28 by 1 and that gave me 28. The next step is to subtract. 9 minus 8 will give me 1. 3 minus 2 will give me 1. You will notice that this is smaller than this. I can no longer divide. Now this fraction can now be written from the top. I have one whole number, 11 over 28. Can you see the way I moved? One whole number, 11 over 28. So my answer will be one whole number, 11 over 28. You can see this is now a mixed number. So this can now be left as my final answer. Therefore, my final answer is one whole number, 11 over 28. Alright. Go over the examples carefully. Watch the video as many times as you want to. And then try the practice exercise. And let's see what you have. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.